All right, so the draft is come and gone, and let's just, I think we did all right as the Giants picked Abdul Carter. Then they go ahead and they get themselves a quarterback at Jackson Dart by moving back up into the first round. I don't think that they gave up too much. Some people are pissed about it. I don't think that people realize what it costs to move up, and considering what we got, if they really think that they hit on their quarterback, it was not much at all. But yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of have no choice but to just accept it. I think that they did a good thing. Then they got Scatabo, who's looks to be a good running back. We got a lineman. So all in all, I was pretty excited about what they did. They're gonna release the schedule, I guess, May 14th. They had like an announcement in the draft about an announcement of the schedule. Who cares? We know who we're playing. We just don't know when. Either way, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to win a lot of games this year. Let me just go to the last here. Let's see. You go to the Giants. You go to their schedule. I mean, it's a tough schedule. There's no way around it. But now we have Abdul Carter. So he's going to hopefully slot in and fit, like a glove. I mean, let's be real, though. Hopefully, we don't see Jackson Dart this year. So the opponents this year are obviously our division twice. So Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders. Then we play Green Bay at home, the Vikings at home, the Chiefs at home, the Chargers at home, and the 49ers at home. I don't really see a win there. I'm sorry. Maybe you beat a divisional opponent once. And then you got the Bears, the Lions, the Broncos, the Raiders, the Saints, and the Patriots. So, I mean, the schedule's brutal. I don't know how the hell we got that schedule, considering what we were last year. But it is what it is. You can maybe beat the Bears. I don't think so. The Broncos are a playoff team. The Lions are going to kill us. The Raiders, maybe. The Saints, maybe. And the Patriots, maybe. Maybe. So, I mean, I'm not really looking at it as like a must-win games season. I guess that's what John Mara is going to look at it on, as far as Daboll and Shane. But yeah, I don't know. It's confusing as to what they want. It's confusing that we kept these guys if we're going to fire them with that schedule. That schedule, well, team's opponent was out for a while. Mara knew what our schedule's going to look like. Maybe not the days that they're going to play, but he knows what it's going to look like. I mean, what are you doing? Like, what are we going to do? You might as well have said, guys, listen, go out there. You're safe this year. You're safe next year, because I want you to build the team with an identity, which we now have, defensive identity. Got a quarterback. They didn't take Shador. I don't care. I don't care who it is. If you think you like it, so that's the thing. So if you like him and Daboll likes the guy, you're going to fire him this year because they don't win games against one of the hardest schedules I've ever seen for the Giants in a lot of years. I just don't understand the rationale behind that. So hopefully they're safe. It is what it is at this point. I would have fired both of them. Okay, but you didn't. Shane had a good draft. Daboll obviously was a big factor in that. So together they had a good draft. I will give them that. You can't fire them after this now. I think Shane's safe regardless, but you can't fire Daboll, because the whole reason you got Brian Daboll is supposed to be this quarterback whisperer. You finally got him a quarterback, and the quarterback really shouldn't play this year. So you really want to give Daboll next year. So I'm a little confused about what they're going to do there. But Abdul Carter, as long as he is as advertised, this kid's going to be something special. I mean, it is hopefully the start of something really something special with him. And then, Scatabo, that kid could be a real sneaky pick. That might have been my favorite pick, because if this kid can be, a Brandon Jacobs-esque player, look out. Because Tyrone Tracy is a little bit more flashy. Kind of like Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw type. Although Bradshaw had a dog, he had dog in him too. But, if you got a 3rd and 1 back now who's going to bust through the seams, I mean, you're looking at something here. Okay? You got Darius Alexander as well. I mean, we could be a pretty good team. I know that the offensive line is still shaky. Again, I'm not going to say we're a good team based on wins and losses because, Jesus Christ, that schedule is ridiculous. I think we're playing 2 non-playoff teams, right? Let's see. Am I nuts? Did the Cowboys? Yeah, I think the Cowboys missed it, but the Cowboys are always good. I mean, Okay, so NFC Championship game was obviously the Commanders and the Eagles. Packers, yes. Vikings, yes. Chiefs, yes. Yep. Okay, so the Bears didn't make the playoffs. The Saints, the Raiders, and the Patriots. I think the Cowboys are still good, so I don't count them. So out of our whole schedule, we're playing 4 teams that didn't make the playoffs, but 4 teams that, Raiders got Geno Smith. What that means, I don't know. The Bears, obviously, 2nd year of Caleb Williams. They definitely upgraded at a lot of positions. They have an offensive line now on paper. You got the Patriots who, they were already building towards something. Now they have Vrabel and, Drake May's 2nd year. And they went out and they got a wide receiver. So who knows how that's going to look. And then the Saints, maybe. The Saints might suck. Maybe. Anything can happen. It's a brutal schedule. You might be able to beat the Cowboys once. You might be able to beat the Commanders just off a fluke. Packers, everything obviously is depending on health of position players, but it's not. You can't. I don't know how you could judge this season based on wins and losses, and I hope that Mara doesn't. Again, I would have moved on and let a new regime go through this draft process. Okay, you chose not to, with a huge draft pick at hand at number 3. You gave them the keys to the car. You got to let them drive it for at least 2 years now. Okay, so I hope that's what's going on. So, not to say that I'm excited because, again, it's not going to be a lot of wins this season, I don't foresee, but hopefully you see, some real potential. You see something out of Abdul Carter that you didn't see out of Kayvon Thibodeau. Maybe now adding Abdul Carter, you see something out of Kayvon Thibodeau. The secondary should be better. For sure, it should be better. Hopefully. Everything is on paper. The offensive line needs to be better. Andrew Thomas obviously can't get... hopefully doesn't get hurt. If they're going to do anything with Evan Neal, I guess you're going to move his bum ass to guard. I don't like him. Hopefully we get our center back and healthy. Okay. Scatabo could be a difference maker. I still don't like our tight ends, but... what are you going to do? Bellinger is either going to have to figure it out. He's either going to have to go out and be a receiver or he's going to have to block better because I just don't really love what they're doing with their tight ends, but I don't know. You tried, and you got Darren Waller and, whatever. So they tried and it didn't work out. I'm excited to see the team play, which I could say is a different feeling than it was last season. I was excited to see Malik Neighbors, but another year of Daniel Jones. The Saquon Barkley drama had just happened, and now he's a friggin' Eagle. And, so it was like bittersweet. This is a little bit more of a hopeful season to see growth. Again, I'm not expecting results on the win and loss column, but, I'm also not expecting to get blown out either. I would like to lose competitively. So, that's my thoughts. I think they had a really strong draft. I don't have any opinions on Jackson Dart. I don't want to lie. They clearly saw what they wanted in him, and now the leaks are coming out that obviously that Shedeur Listen, Shedeur Sanders fell to the 5th round. I mean, he almost went undrafted. And honestly, I don't know what that means because there's all, you know, reasons and blah, 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 blah of why. And it's definitely not racism. People were claiming racism. Meanwhile, the first overall pick was Cam Ward. Then they said the Giants hate black quarterbacks, but yet we rostered 2 of them. And listen, I understand we had Eli Manning for so long. I understand that we had a white quarterback for a while, but we also had Geno Smith start and break Eli Manning's freaking streak. Okay? Then we signed Tyrod Taylor as a backup. Give me a break with the racist Giants crap. Last I checked, Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson were both black quarterbacks, and we brought them in, and one of them's going to start. They chose Jackson Dart for intangibles that obviously Brian Daboll liked. It sounds to me like Shedeur Sanders did not, and I repeat, did not take anything seriously the entire time. Okay? Guess what? For all those racial baiting, the Giants hate black quarterbacks, they were trying to move up to 1 to get Cam Ward. So they wanted a black quarterback badly. But the Titans said hell no. So they took the best player at 3, who might be the best player overall, because I'm really not sure what Travis Hunter's really going to be. And we really have no say, right? Nobody knows, but it's one of those things. I just don't like the narrative. It's ridiculous. It's 2025. Black quarterbacks, Spanish quarterback, any quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa is Hawaiian. Dude, you throw a ball, you handle it well, you could be black, white, purple. Teams don't care. Do they care maybe about his father? Maybe. But I honestly think that it's the fact that he didn't take it serious, and teams are like, well, we're not going to want you to lead our team if you don't handle the meetings because you think you could just get by on merit. And let's be honest, his merit was what? I get he took bad situations and made them better, but what has he proved in the National Football League? Nothing. So I don't know. He didn't take things seriously. It didn't even seem like the Browns were that happy when they picked him. It was just like, all right, he's here. Let's take him. So, that narrative's annoying, and sucks that he got prank called. That the kid is not hurting for anything. So, let's just relax on that. But yeah, overall, I think the Giants did well. Shedeur, people wanted Shedeur with the Jackson Dart pick. Those people probably have no idea who Jackson Dart is. You know what I mean? You got to go with what your team trusts. And honestly, the team probably just saw more intangibles in him than they saw. And let me be honest with you, I'm not a huge college quarterback fan, but I do know that Shedeur Sanders had some knocks against him going into it, and one of them was mobility. So if you're not a mobile quarterback in this league now, where the front fours of the teams are just gigantic monsters, and your offensive lines are not the same, your schemes are different. If you're not a mobile quarterback either, teams are going to, not really just want a pocket passer, which is why the Browns, had Joe Flacco, because he is a pocket quarterback, and, he could service them for a little bit, but he's also 50,000 years old, so they were like, all right, let's get Shedeur. So, I think it's a lot of just talking heads that are just super, ready to just start a headline about Shedeur. I hope the kid works out and he's good for the Browns. I don't wish anything ill will against them. I just didn't like the shots that were coming after us as a Giants team because we didn't take him when we moved back into the first round. And like I said, and then as things leaked out, they were never taking him. The Giants were never going to take him. They had bad meetings with Daboll. Daboll asked him questions he wasn't prepared for. Daboll was upset. He got upset that Daboll was upset. There was obviously a break in the chain of communication. They were never going to hire him or draft him. So, Giants, in my opinion, get an A in their draft. Again, I don't think it's going to help in this year's wins and loss column. Maybe it does. Maybe I'm surprised they win games, but I don't know. Overall, though, the Giants' defense on paper could be really good. The Giants' offense on paper is a question mark because I don't really know what to expect from Russell Wilson at this point in his career. I have no idea what to expect from the offensive line. You know Malik Neighbors is good. You know Tyrone Tracy's decent. You would think Scadaboo and Tracy together would be a dynamic duo. But with a bad offensive line, what does that mean? So we'll see how that goes. I worry about that. And then we hope the secondary's better. And the special teams, because the special teams was really bad last year. So, they've got pieces. I think they picked up a couple undrafted kids. I'm not sure yet. We'll see where the chips lie. But overall, I think they got an A. I think they handled it well. Definitely killed it in night 1 and 2. Again, obviously the players have to perform, but I think they got an A. So, as we get closer to the season and camp start up, we'll have more of Giants talk. Maybe we have some surprises at who actually will end up being the starting quarterback come the season opener. So, go Big Blue. It's finally nice as a fan to kind of feel a little confident in your team and your leadership. So, hopefully, a better season.